Hello again everyone, Deflect here, Firm and Fair Gaming. Want to bring you a video. Season 4's out, and just want to give my thoughts on Season 4 so far, the good, the bad, what's going on, and where Blizzard really fucked up. As for that, we'll get into that in a sec, but this is just a little gameplay footage of Junkyard. I think it's just a 14, so it's nothing crazy, but it does have some stuff right at the front that I wanted to show everyone, and that's the new affix and everything. I chose my druid not to tank right now. I'm healing on the druid, so this is my alt healer instead of me main tank on the DH, but this one it's fun to switch it up and heal a bit. What's going into this Season 4, the great part, absolute phenomenal part of Season 4. Actually, right now, because we got an Infiltrator, you can see the new affix, the Infiltrator. And this right here is going to be one of the things that, it's interesting, but they messed up huge beginning week here. And I'll get into that later on when I discuss the Mythic Plus. But at the beginning, I did some raiding. I'm not a prolific raider by any means. I don't do a lot of it. I don't mythic raid anymore. I just raid for fun, just a little bit. You know, I'm not too crazy into it, but I enjoy doing some of it. And with the new affix, I thought it was a blast. I thought the new affix had a little bit of challenge to it, a little bit of something extra, and it was a lot of fun. We only were doing heroic. It wasn't crazy. Sorry, and if you just saw that on the screen, you just saw the big frontal and the carrion swarm. That's one of the problems that are arising in other dungeons. But the raiding itself, it was a blast. I enjoyed it so far. I will continue to do it now with the affix because I like the rotating faded affix. It's nice to go back and do some of the old dungeons, some of the old bosses. It's a lot of fun. So that was the great part they did. As for the bad is the dungeons, if you haven't done them, and I just wasn't even paying attention, walked over the puddle, but the puddle is another great thing because that is going to be a problem. In some of these dungeons, they are very small. Grim Rail is terribly small. The other Mechagon the workshop is narrow. Getting into Karazhan's, they're narrow dungeons. And Blizzard fucked up with the affix. So at the beginning of every new time they release dungeons into the Mythic Plus thing, and I'm Mythic Plus, I enjoy Mythic Plus. That's my main spot. It's a learning curve. It's a huge learning curve. You're learning routes. MDT isn't updated. You're trying to get percentage. You're trying to get what enemies do. You're trying to get kicks down. You're trying to get the new affix down. And Blizzard gave one of the worst affixes week 1, and all the feedback is negative on it. People are hating this, and they don't really enjoy. People hate change, let's be honest, but they don't really enjoy the first weeks because everything might be overtuned. They're learning where everything is. They don't really know. They can't do big DPS because they're not sure. They can't do crazy pulls because they're not sure what to kick, what this and that. And in Grim Rail is one of the worst ones because Grim Rail is very confined. The viewpoints are terrible. The Carrion Swarm can't be LOS, so you can actually get Carrion Swarm through boxes that you can't attack the enemy, but it can hit you. And then you're dealing with Quaking. If they would have just not gave Quaking this week, if they would have been smart to give Volcanic instead, so you can sidestep it, you're fine. But the Quaking in Grim Rail, by the time your group's all spread out in some of the sections, you're almost half a car behind because you have to be around almost 2 boxes for the last guy just to space out enough so you're not getting hit by the Quaking, and then you still get hit by a Carrion Swarm. So the affix they gave was poorly chosen. They should have just gave Volcanic, and they should have went along that way, but it's out now, and people, I can tell because my group hasn't been around this week. They're on vacation, so they're around on vacation for a couple weeks. So I've been pugging, and the feedback in the pug scene is bad. People hate these right now, and people don't really like them first couple weeks because everything needs to get tuned and everything needs to settle in and routes need to be made. So you probably want to give a little bit of a break with the affix and not just screw them right over with a quaking. I'm not going to give my full feedback on the dungeons yet because, again, I'm still working on routes. I'm still working on all the finer details. I'm still learning them. I haven't played some of these dungeons, so I don't know all of them. So I'm still learning the dungeons and the boss fights, and I do think the one at the end of Grim Rail is actually way overtuned for the boss fight. Just mainly, not the lightning itself, but the frost traps I think are grossly overtuned. Like, you are going to wipe if one of your guys gets hit by the frost trap and stuff. Like, a frost trap into a lightning, you're dead. It's pretty much... the guy's dead itself, and you're done. It just does so much damage. I think when I was doing Grim Rail, I was... for the whole boss fight, I think I was around 14k HPS, so like just healing crazy just to keep everything topped up, because if you're not topped up and that guy breathes the lightning on you, it's a wipe as well. Like, it's just crazy. I think it's right over tuned, but that's my opinion on that one. I'm sure they'll fix it later on. They always usually do. Usually takes a week or two and they're good. But yeah, other than that, I think their biggest mistake was the definitely the affix. If like the inspiring, cool, that could be dealt with. The inspiring wasn't that bad. Usually almost every group has a CC of some sort, but definitely the quaking is a problem. And a lot of these dungeons, like I said, Karazhan small, the workshop's small, Grim Rail's atrociously small. The docks is huge, so you can deal with it at the docks. That's easy. You can deal with it at the junkyard. That's easy. And weirdly enough, I actually think they undertuned Streets. So Streets is undertuned, and the rest are over. Some of the other ones are overtuned. Not all of them, but some. But that's kind of where I'm at right now. Season 2, still just messing around with a healer. Going to really work on the tanking later on. But this was just some gameplay to switch up from tanking. It was fun to mess around on a healer. Just, you know, I was raid healing a little before this season, and it was just fun to switch it up. It's nice to switch up from a tank sometimes, especially at the beginning. But now that the routes are out and now I can play with the MDT and make routes, it's going to be a lot of fun, you know, choosing the different ways to go. Some of them, there's not much choice. Some of them, there's a lot of choice. And I think rogues are going to come in huge again, because I think the Shroud is going to be invaluable in some of the dungeons. So that's just my opinion. I'm going to wait to give an opinion on the dungeons they selected, because, again, I don't know them that well. I haven't played all of them, and it has been a long time if I have played some of them. So I'll wait till they are tuned to where they want them to be, and I've played them a bit, so I know the routes and I know where to go and how things are working and all that before I give a full feedback on that. But if you have any questions, let me know. Definitely leave a comment. Let me know what you guys are thinking of Season 4. It's been some real struggles in the pug scene for a bit, so let me know your feedback. And as always, deflect, firm but fair gaming. We'll see you in the next video.